Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thank you for joining us today. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona, and we're joined by Joe Getson, the head coach of Warrior Volleyball. Thanks for being here today. I know that we got a lot to talk about as the season is wrapping up and playoffs are on the horizon, but let's start by kind of getting a wrap-up of last weekend. You were able to get a sweep last weekend. First starting out against Bemidji State on Friday. Tell us a little bit about how the team did on Friday.
Well, Bemidji State is a dangerous team. They upset Wayne earlier, about 2 weeks ago, and they had some talent, or they have some talent, and I was really proud of the girls, the focus that we had, and we came in with a game plan that we needed to get better on our side of the net, and I thought we did that. We did a really good job. We blocked pretty well. We wanted to pick up the tempo of our quick attack a little bit. We did that. I thought we played well. We got a good sweep out of it.
Yeah, it says you're ranked 5th in the NSIC in blocks, and you had 9 blocks in the game against Bemidji State. And Megan Flom did a great job in that game, 403 attacking. So,
well, teams struggle with Megan's size in the middle, and the coach came up afterwards and go, I don't know how to stop her. So it was really good, and once she's on, it really opens up both pins, and I thought both Paige and Kate did a nice job of attacking, and so that opened up a lot of different weapons for us. So
Bree Maloney, 41 assists in that match. Tell us about how she's done this.
Well, she's really just starting to come into her own a little bit, and I think we're passing well, so she can be a little bit more creative with how she sets or who she sets, so that helps a lot as well.
All right, then we'll move on to the Crookston match, and eye-popping statistic that comes out of this is the 0 attacking percentage for Minnesota Crookston. Kind of explain what that means.
Well, that means that they didn't hit in the positive in the sense of how you come up with that percentage is you take your total number of kills and you minus any errors that you have, and then you divide that into your total attempts. And a good number, we're top 15 in the country right now, and we're hitting about 270. When I first got here, they had never hit over 200, so that gives you an idea. To hold a team to 0 is pretty impressive. I think we just frustrated them with some good defense, and when you start frustrating teams, they start pressing a little bit and doing things they're not capable of doing and make a lot of errors.
All right. Tell us a little bit more about the Crookston game. I mean, obviously you're playing teams that were kind of towards the bottom of the NSIC, but I mean that's just the schedule and just the way things are. How do you feel the team played overall against Crookston?
Well, I thought we handled our business. It wasn't a real clean match for us. We didn't hit for great numbers. We got an opportunity to play some different people. But overall, you walk out of there on the road, a long road trip, and you come out with a win and a sweep. No one gets hurt. I'm very pleased.
All right, we do want to say congratulations to you because that's 20 wins
for
the Warriors this season, and it's the 4th time that you've had a 20-win season at Winona State. So congratulations to you and the team for that. Is there anything that you can kind of point to say how you've had that kind of success over the years as head coach?
Well, I think I wish I could take more credit for it, but we've gone out and got good kids, and the kids work hard, and that's where the credit lies, is with the players, and they work hard every day. I wish you guys could see practice situations. We probably work harder than most teams in the NSIC, I feel, and they come in every day with a great attitude, and I think that lends itself to the success.
All right, let's talk about what's coming up now this weekend. Now you have 2 of the top 10 teams in the top 25 poll that you have to face off against. What do you have to do to be successful this weekend?
Well, so much of it is the mental side of the game, and us being patient. St. Cloud, as an example, leads the league in defense and the amount of digs they have every match. So we've got to be okay with being dug and just know that we're going to, get the ball back and have another opportunity at it. And then feeling confident more than anything else that we're playing good teams, they're going to do good things. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. You just got to respond to that. And we've done that several times this year, so I'm looking forward to the matchup. It's a great way to end the season and hopefully get us into and prepare us for the conference tournament where everyone's good.
All right, before we get to that, St. Cloud and Duluth, you did play them earlier this season and you lost both of those matches. Tell us what you learned at that time that can help you this weekend.
Well, we learned they're both good teams. I don't think we had a solid lineup at that point. We were still kind of finding pieces and who fit where. We had finally put Megan Flom back into the middle, but she did not have a good weekend. Since then, she went on a tear. Her numbers put her in contention for being player of the year in the league. So hopefully that will make a difference. And then I think we also solidified our outside hitters a little bit more, and Paige Christopher's come on and having a great year. So hopefully she can do a little bit more with that. She's been a weapon for us as far as slowing down the right side, so that should help as well.
All right, you kind of control your own destiny as you get towards the NSIC playoffs because only the top 8 teams make the playoffs. You're currently sitting in the number 6 position, but really you just have to win one and you're in.
Well, yeah, and I think we can win 2, so that's the plan I have, how I have it written up. But yeah, it's in our destiny. We have to take care of business. Even going into the tournament, we want to start playing at a little bit higher level. And I think, each week we've gone out and gotten a little bit better. That's our goal, is just to do that again. And I think if we do that, we'll be in a great situation.
And then, of course, in the background, in the back of your mind is after NSIC, because right now the Central Region put out their first poll, and you were 10th in the region poll. And of course, you're still holding steady at number 16 in the top 25 poll. Tell us how that kind of factors into what goes on this week.
Well, the first region just kind of gives you an outlay of the teams that you're competing against to get into the NCAA tournament. And realistically, you're going to have to be in the top 7. If no one gets upset in the conference tournament. And there's a couple teams ahead of us that on paper look good, but they have some bad losses, and I think that kind of got overlooked in the first one because of some head-to-head comparisons from earlier in the year. But as this week and next week goes by, I don't think those become as important. I think they put a little bit more weight on more recent wins, and hopefully I think we can be able to squeak in there. We've got some work ahead of us. We take care of 2 this weekend, and that's going to put us in a great situation.
This may be a silly question, but you talked about bad losses. You've had some good wins this year, including the Concordia win, and then of course if you knock off these 2 top 10 teams this week, does that go in your favor then?
Oh, no doubt. And it's hard to know. The first time I don't think they look at bad losses because there's too many head-to-head that they have to compare. But as it starts getting narrower and towards the end, bad losses, I think, tend to play into it a little bit more, and we don't have any of those, and we won't with who's left on our schedule. So we can't have a bad loss. Only thing left for us is good wins, and we've got to go out and grab those.
All right, sounds good. We're going to take a break here on Warrior Report. When we come back, Melissa LeClaire will join us right after this.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price.
Perfect.
Is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-60.
The Big 12 is not for the weak. You face Red River shootouts and destructive cyclones, with Cowboys and Longhorns ready to take you down. Every week, you fight or surrender. Win or lose, you do. Or you don't. There is no other choice. Big 12 football on FS1, or watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona. Melissa LeClaire joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
You're a graduate assistant at Winona State. So recently you were a volleyball player at Upper Iowa. Tell us a little bit about your background in volleyball at Upper Iowa and maybe some memories that you have from graduating from Upper Iowa.
Yeah, so I was a 4-year setter at Upper Iowa. Obviously played against Winona the last years, and it's been really fun being here now. At Upper Iowa, we kind of took the program from being like 500 in the conference, sort of bottom half my first 2 years, and then kind of my junior, senior year, we kind of flipped that around and kind of decided we weren't okay with that anymore and just kind of took a stand for ourselves and made our way up to the conference tournament the last 2 years, so that was a really fun thing to be a part of. Set some records with our most program wins my junior year, and making the conference tournament and all that was really fun for the first 2 times.
All right, so when did the thought start coming in that maybe you wanted to pursue coaching, maybe you wanted to be an assistant, and where were you looking for different places to go?
I think I was lucky to have some very great coaches at my time at Upper Iowa, and they kind of inspired me, and I really love the Northern Sun. Obviously, playing in it and now coaching in it has been a blast. And I always had a ton of respect for Winona and the things that they've done here. And so when I had the opportunity to talk to Coach Getson about being a GA, I was really excited about it. Still in the Northern Sun, still pretty close to home, and kind of still close to Upper Iowa if I wanted to go visit friends and stuff like that. But I'd also looked at coaching at St. Cloud this past year, so that's a little bit of a rivalry still and a little interesting. But I'm super grateful to be here, and I've learned a lot from Coach Getson and Fish in the past couple months I've known them.
All right, and so how do you choose who you're going to have as a graduate assistant?
Well, when I heard that she might be interested in joining us, I really feel like Melissa was the reason that Upper Iowa turned the corner and started being a contender in the league. And I watched her develop as a player, and I was always very impressed with how hard she worked and her leadership skills in doing that. So to me, it was a no-brainer to bring someone like that on and bring some of that experience and mentorship to our players through someone like herself. So.
Okay. And tell me about the first time that you had to face Upper Iowa as a Winona State coach. What was that like to be on the opposite bench?
Well, of course, it was on Halloween, so it was spooky. But I don't know. I was nervous for that game, like even a month before it happened. But it was weird because I was like, I'm not actually on the court playing. Like I don't have that much control over the game. But it was nice to see friendly faces and stuff like that. But I mean, it's hard having a loyalty to both schools in some way. But it was a fun match. Yeah.
And what about the first time that you were on the bench as a graduate assistant? Is it hard not to run out on the floor and just stay where you were?
Yeah, that's something that has been kind of difficult for me, because especially as a setter, you kind of feel like you have a lot of control over the game, and now as a coach, you kind of have to sit back, and there's only so much you can control, and you don't really know who's going to show up which day. But yeah, it's been a change, that's for sure.
All right, well, we only have a couple of minutes left in this segment, but as best you can, kind of summarize, what are some of your duties as a graduate assistant?
So it's still kind of balancing the school and the athletics. Like I still have homework and stuff that I have to manage, but then with being a volleyball coach now, it's more behind the scenes stuff. You don't just get to like show up for practice and do your thing and leave. It's a lot of like travel stuff, coordination with the buses, hotels, meals, things like that. Scouting other teams, scouting our own team, figuring out what we can improve upon, and things like that.
Wow, that's a lot on your plate. And then, what is your graduate degree? What are you looking to go to in the future?
I'm doing the Educational Leadership Sport Management program. So I do really enjoy coaching. I think that'd be a great career path to follow. But I also really like the admin side of athletics. So just kind of see where life takes me after this and what's available out there.
All right, and then one last question here. After Upper Iowa and before Winona State, you kind of had a stop in Missouri, and you played some beach volleyball as a graduate assistant. What is the difference between court volleyball and beach volleyball in college?
There's a lot. First, you only have 2 players on the court instead of 6, so that's kind of an adjustment. And I played a lot of beach in the summers throughout college, so that kind of improved a lot of ball control for me, especially as a setter, working on defense and things like that. So. And I mean, the outdoor is a huge factor. You know, you think Missouri might be warm, but there were still days where I had 10 layers on trying to fight through the cold. But yeah, it's definitely a good experience. I think it helped me learn as a player, you know, just more than just setting. I have learned a lot about defense, serve, receive, attacking, all of that. And then, yeah, I think it was just, you know, another good, I didn't want to be done playing yet, so I got that extra semester. That was really fun.
All right, very good. Well, thank you for joining us here today, and good luck to both of you as you have the last weekend of the regular season.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. And we're going to take a break here on Warrior Report. When we come back, women's cross country will be up right after this.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style.
at Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
In the Big Ten, you're always under attack. No matter where you look, the competition is fierce. Every inch, every yard, every game. Touchdown, Buckeye! Is taken by force. But you like it this way. There it is! Touchdown! Wow! Big Ten football on FS1. Or watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona. Zach Kuhn joins us once again. This time to talk women's cross country. We wrapped up the men's cross country season last week, and now talk about the women. Now, you were predicted to finish 6th in the preseason NSIC poll. So I think a lot of people weren't quite sure what to expect from the Warriors this year. So let's kind of get an overall wrap on the season. How do you feel the team fared this year?
Sure, yeah. Asking to zoom out like that or thinking back, we were preseason ranked 6th in the conference and preseason not even ranked in the top 10 in the region. Mm-hmm. And I guess those never really mean that much to you, but they're there. Certainly when you're asking about outsiders looking in, it was pretty clear, at least the other coaches didn't think that we had much coming for us, I guess. And to be fair, we did finish 6th at the conference meet last year, and we finished 11th at the regional meet last year. So if you assume things aren't going to change that much, then they were right. But certainly things did change, and I think we all knew, really dating way back to as soon as track season ended, or even as soon as last cross-country season ended, that heading into this year we were going to be something special on the women's side, and wanted to be something special. And so you really have everyone on their own all summer training with kind of bigger team goals in mind, and then when you come together in August, you really see what you're working with and how things are going to play out. And the team wanted to be top 3 at the conference meet and top 5 at the regional meet, and that's something I certainly believe could happen, and they all believe that. And I guess the cool part is now that we're at the end of the season, we accomplished both those things, and certainly a big move up from last year, and I guess you can always say prove the haters wrong on the rankings there. So.
All right. As far as individuals, were there any kind of surprises to you this season?
Yeah, there was a lot of surprises. In fact, one of the biggest things, I guess, is that even though I knew this team could be good, our top 2 5K runners from last outdoor season were actually not scorers for us at either conference or regionals. And so it's really amazing how successful we were able to be with a lineup that we maybe didn't see coming. And I think that's really the sign that the team was good, because it wasn't about certain individuals necessarily. It was just that we had people stepping up on the day when we needed them. And that we almost, in fact, I don't think we ever had the same order twice. And we could probably run 5 more races and not get that same order again. And that is pretty cool to see. So. One of the big surprises individually is Nikki Kelly, who we'll have on here in a little bit. Freshman, not someone that I expected, or probably she even expected either. I guess you can ask her, but to be in the mix right away, and right away she was. I mean, from the get-go at the Augie Twilight meet was our number 2, and then from then on out was just a consistent score, never out of the picture, always in it, and ran her best race at the end. It was huge getting all region there. I guess I don't know the facts for sure, but I couldn't tell you the last time we had a freshman be all region, if ever. It's been a while since we had anyone be all region. So yeah, just pretty cool. Just missed out on all conference, but I mean, all region is actually way harder to do. So
yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the conference meet first. You placed 3rd out of 16 teams. So that's the best finish for the cross-country team since 2016. In your view, how did the conference meet go?
The conference meet was, I guess, a mixed bag. I feel like I say that all the time, but we reached our goal. The scary part, I guess, was we were only 2 points ahead of 4th place, and we knew that we probably shouldn't be that close, or we should be a lot closer to 1st and 2nd. But the good part there is we had a couple people that you might say had off days, but we had 2 more there to step in, and just awesome to see. Like I just talked about, when you have there's a lot of teams out there, including maybe myself on the men's side of things, that when you have one person in your top 5 off, your team chances are in trouble.
Yeah.
And for us, it was just never a worry. You could take 2 or 3 out of our top 5 on any given day, and we had 2 or 3 more there to step up and still get a good result. So we kind of came out of that meet saying, first goal of the season accomplished, but we know we can do way better, and let's put everything together on the same day at regionals. And yeah, it's just good to see somebody set a goal and get after it. And we hadn't been able to do well at the conference meet. Well, last year with my first year being 6th was short of our goal, and then even the last couple of years, like you said, had been since 2016 since we were up there. So good to be back.
And then when you talk the Central Region race, it's the best finish since 2014 that you guys had on the women's side. So tell us about that race as well.
Yeah, bittersweet on the regional meet. I mean, I did say that the team goal all along had been to be top 5, and a lot of years, like last year for example, we usually send 4 or 5 teams from our region to the national meet. And so kind of midway through the season, I said, if we want to make the national meet, we really have to be top 3. And they were totally in on that, no complaints, no problems, said, yeah, let's be top 3. And unfortunately, it came down to 5 points to Pitt State, 190 to 185. And that's tough to swallow, but I think looking back, it's easier for me to do this for the athletes, but looking back, we'll be able to say, like, wow, we really went after it. I mean, there's 30 other teams in the region who would have liked to finish where we did, who could even be upset with missing nationals. There's so many teams that really never even dream of it. So we had the dream, went after it, came up just short, but really a pretty impressive performance from several of them. And yeah, that 2014 season that you mentioned, the last time we finished the high, they did make it. That's the last time we made the national meet. And so it just kind of stings that kind of the math didn't work out among the nation for us to go this year. But yeah, I mean, a great performance nonetheless.
I don't mean to kind of harp on that kind of point, but did you think that you had a chance at one of the at-large bids when the things were announced on Monday?
I guess being the student of the sport that I am, I didn't really think we had a chance. I was doing the math in my head and waiting for those other regional results to come in, and I kind of had figured out the at-large bids, and just a tough situation because like some of the athletes had hope and were optimistic, and I certainly didn't want to be the negative Nelly there. But yeah, I predicted the 10 at-large bids correctly, and just didn't work out for us to be one of them. But again, you can't control how other teams do. You can't control the NCAA's selection process or one of those things. I just keep going back to our original goal was top 5, and we were 4th, and yeah, hadn't been up there since 2014, and even in 2014 that was good enough to make it. So we can't really beat ourselves up too bad on the 5 points and on anything really.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on a great season. And
yeah,
we're going to take a break here on Warrior Report. When we come back, freshman Nikki Kelly will join us right after this.
Tuesdays on DIY Network. Go OTG.
That's wicked off the grid.
These new pioneers push the boundaries.
We got a storm coming in.
There's nothing that comes easy up here.
To build their dream homes.
We want to be completely off the grid.
This has been a lot harder than we ever thought it was going to be.
I won't give up.
This is life beyond the frontier.
It was a lot of work, but worth it.
All new Building Off the Grid. Tuesday night at 9 on DIY Network.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect
is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-60.
And welcome back to the Warrior Report here on HBC TV 25. We're brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona. Nikki Kelly joins us. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go back to your high school career, which wasn't too far away because you're a freshman. Tell me about maybe some of the highlights at Prior Lake.
I would say the highlights were my last senior year. I wasn't very good when I was a freshman, or no, I joined when I was in my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I kind of got better as each year went on. I went to state my senior year, so that was a really big year for me. I improved a lot that year, and I broke my time that I had.
Okay, let's talk then about your choice to come here to Winona State. How many schools were you taking a look at, and what was the thing that tipped the scales in Winona State?
I was taking a look at many schools. For example, I wanted to go to St. Thomas, La Crosse, UMD. That was another choice.
Okay.
But I liked Winona because of the team. They were very supportive, very nice girls.
Okay, so when you were looking at Nikki, what were some of the positives that you got from her that you wanted to bring her on the team?
Yeah. Well, your dad went to Winona, right?
Yes.
She didn't mention that. That's always a big. Whenever you find something out like that, you're like, oh, he's in our corner then, right? So, yeah, she's just a, fun person to have around, I guess. But obviously, her marks were good enough to be on the team. Knowing what I know now, how her season went, probably would have never predicted that. But just someone you feel like, yeah, we want to get this person on the team. A huge part of it is that team atmosphere, like she mentioned. So we just bring them in on a visit, let them hang out with the women's team for a night, and it's as much of an interview, I guess, for her and for us. It works both ways. So she had a good time, and then I just ask our girls, like, oh yeah, we like her, she's nice, so let's bring her in. All
right. Well, you heard what Coach had to say about your season. Obviously, a standout year as a freshman. Your thoughts on how you were able to perform?
I liked this has probably been my favorite season so far, even though I haven't had lots of seasons yet, but I'm surprised in a way. I never realized how much success I've had this year. It was very surprising to me. I guess being top freshman, that wasn't my goal, but I'm surprised with myself this year.
Okay. I want to talk about the Lewis crossover, because that was a huge event and a lot of runners that were in there. Tell us how you approach a race like that and how you felt you did.
I kind of approach a race like you just have to run this, do your best, even though the conditions weren't in our favor. There was mud. I had mud up to my leg here. It was it was cold there too, in my standards, but yeah, it was just a hard meet, The conditions were hard.
Okay, and then for the NSIC meet, as Coach said, you just missed out on all conference. Did that kind of fuel you as you went to the Central Region?
It did fuel me a lot. I guess I just want to push myself, get better, or do better at the regional meet. Just do better for the team. Okay, and then you were all region in the Central Region. What was that like to get that award? I felt really good, as anyone would. I guess it was rewarding for me. Showed that I pushed myself in the race. Okay. Now I know that you're going to be going on to track and field, but we'll kind of keep this with cross country here. What do you do in the off season after track and field is over to get ready for next season in cross country? I usually, since I'm doing more long distance events, I run longer, and I do some sprint workouts in the mix. But I guess I'll do what my coach wants me to this year, since I've never really done track college running. Okay. And then what was the kind of transition from high school to college? Did you see much difference in the way that cross-country races went from high school to college? They take them, in high school they're taken seriously, but they take them really seriously here. You can't have phones on the field, whereas people broke that rule all the time. It's just girls took them more seriously, I guess. Everyone was more nervous and they anticipated the race more, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to say congratulations on a great season, and thank you for joining us here. Thank you. And good luck in the track and field season. Thank you. All right. We're good. Thank you for joining us here on the Warrior Report here on TV 25. We'll see you next time here on HBC.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect.
Getting the right look at the right price.
Perfect.
Is always in style at Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.